What's up, everybody? This is your boy Montre, and today I want to talk about how to contact your ancestors. Now, a lot of people probably have a lot of inhibitions or hesitation about contacting your ancestors, but I want to share a story before I show you how to do it. When I was younger, I grew up Christian, so you hear a lot of stuff about don't do this and don't do that and don't dabble in this and don't dabble in that. Actually, I really feel an inner desire and a pull to keep in contact with my ancestors, those who've passed away, who have gone to the great beyond, because I feel like that our ancestors want to contact us, want to keep in touch with us, and they want to guide us. And most of the time, our ancestors are there to protect us. When I was younger, my grandmother died when I was very, very young, and when I was a baby. I practically have no memory of her, but I've been told by many people that her spirit watches over me and guides me. As well, when my grandfather died, I had a dream after he died about some things that he wanted to tell me. And I told my mom the dream that I had, and she confirmed a lot of the stuff that he told me in my dream. And it was stuff that I couldn't possibly have known. Also, when my paternal grandfather died, I felt this pull. I didn't know he had died, but I felt this pull to go visit my grandmother. I went and visited my grandmother that day, and she had told me that he had passed away and that his funeral was going to be in a little bit. So I made plans for that, and I was able to go to the funeral of my grandfather, who I had never met in my life, and I only spoke to on the phone. So he was my estranged grandfather, but I had spoke to him on the phone once in my lifetime, and he had came back to Texas and passed away, and I found out haphazardly because my grandmother told me. So if I didn't have that pull, I would have never found out, and I kind of feel like that it was my grandfather pulling me to come see him one last time. My final story is about my dad. When my dad passed away, I had a feeling, actually the day he passed away, I had this really weird feeling like I was dizzy and I was about to pass out. And the next day, my sister calls me and she tells me that my father had passed away. So that was a really weird moment for me, because I was like, wow, like yesterday I had this really weird feeling like something had just pushed me down, like pulled me to the floor. I was literally dizzy. I could not stand. So I felt like something leave me. So it was almost as if I felt his presence leave the earth. After he had passed, I had a dream about him as well, and he was kind of shocked to see me, but it was just a weird moment. I saw him in his most happiest moment. I mean, he liked to work on cars, and in this vision dream, he was working on a car, and he was like, "What are you doing here?" So at that moment, I felt like I connected to him, and I had told other people that I felt more connected after his death than I felt like in his life. So it was really weird, and I believe that sometimes is that when we pass on and we leave this life, a lot of the hang-ups that we have, or the problems that we have with each other, with our relationships, they really kind of pass away with death, you know, because we get a greater understanding of each other. We get a greater understanding of why we do certain things. So even if you have a bad relationship with one of your ancestors, or you've had a bad relationship with your grandfather, or a bad relationship with your father or mother, after they pass, a lot of that stuff, a lot of that little stuff doesn't even matter anymore. And most of the time they forgive you and they've moved on. It's up to us to forgive ourselves and to forgive them, and to move on with our lives as well. But enough of that. I want to tell you the benefits about contacting your ancestors, because like I said, they will protect you, they will watch over you, and they will inform you if something's going wrong. And I'm gonna show you how. They'll guide you and inform you if something is going wrong, or help you on the decisions that you want to make. And so what you want to do is you want to get, well, first you need to know your ancestors' names. A lot of people, especially in the African American culture, we lose track of our ancestors, and because of slavery, a lot of us don't know where we come from. We don't have a native language except for English, and so we don't know many of our ancestors. So this is a very good spiritual practice to reconnect with those by contacting or staying in contact with your recent deceased ancestors. So if your father is dead, like mine is, you want to contact your father, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, and your great-great-grandfather. You have to know the names of those. If you're a woman, preferably contact the maternal line. If you're a male, contact the paternal line. There's no rules to it. I just said that's my preference because I think the women have a very strong connection with their maternal line, and men have a very strong connection genetically with our paternal line. So with that being said, it's easier because of the bloodlines to contact the paternal line for me. So know the names of your father, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, and your great-grandfather. If you don't know those names, you can go for any ancestors that you know that have passed, maybe your aunts, your uncles. They're all blood related, and what happens is we connect with them and they connect with each other. They're a part of the great cloud of ancestors that we have, which eventually comes back to one ancestor, the source. So sometimes they can help us with information that we don't know. So how to contact them? You get yourself 4 pennies. 4 pennies. I have 4 pennies right here. Get yourself 4 pennies. Booyah! And these are going to be your 4 pennies that you are going to use. You want to consecrate these pennies. You want to cleanse them because everybody's been touching these pennies. And you want to get some incense, and you clean your pennies and purify these pennies. And these are going to be the only pennies that you use to contact your ancestors. When you get their names, look on your family tree if you don't know them, or whoever they're going to be. You contact them, you hold the pennies in your hand, and you shake the pennies up, and you contact them by name, first name. And you say, I call unto my ancestors, say their names, always say their names. And when you connect with them, he says, please guide me, whatever. There's no formal way of doing this. You just say, I contact my ancestors, come to me, let's be one. After you say their name, and it says, come to me and hear my prayer. And then you shake the pennies and you put them on the table. After you ask your question, make your question a yes or no question. If you have heads, that's a yes. If you have tails, that's a no. So each penny represents one of your ancestors. You have 4 pennies, each penny represents an ancestor. So you get yes, 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 yes. If you get 4 yeses, that's a definite yes. If you get 3 yeses, that's a probably. If you get 2 yeses and 2 nos, that's a maybe. You need to make up your own mind. If you get 3 tails and 1 head, you probably shouldn't do it, but you can take a chance, but you probably shouldn't do it. If you get 4 tails, that's a definite no. Your ancestors are giving you a warning, don't do it. They're all in agreement that you shouldn't do something. So 4 heads is a positive yes, 4 tails is a positive no. If you get 3 and 1, maybe something else could happen. There probably are some other elements at work. If you get a half and half, it's a maybe. You need to make up your own mind. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And subscribe to my videos. Like this video if you give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And give me your 2 cents, because if you don't do it, then who will? I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.